Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Trash Talking and Giving Back podcast. I'm Erin Barker, joined by Joe Sinagra, my lovely co-host. He is the do-it-all man over at Myers Containers in Colchester. I always laugh every time from the location at my home where I do this podcast. I look outside and there's a construction site and I see a Myers big dumpster. I'm sure you would know the land. I think it's a roll-off, maybe. Super long one. But you guys are everywhere. I saw a truck rolling by earlier. Things are alive, well, and busy for Myers these days, huh?
Absolutely. And we appreciate all the business from all of our construction customers.
And you appreciate all the business from your restaurant customers. And we're going to speak with one of them shortly. But first, I just want to hear what's been going on in your world. Anything exciting?
Yeah, and actually, Erin, I'm in that weird, I see a lot of these things about different generations and millennials and Gen X, and, I'm technically, I guess, Gen X. And so I know we banter about we're in different groups. So my generation, we're not really the food delivery app generation, so I'm on the other side of it. But I do have an etiquette question for you because it recently happened to me. What is the etiquette if a food delivery service, DoorDash, Uber Eats, one of these, incorrectly delivers to your house? Is it free game or not?
Well, who is it? Who do you get mad at?
No, can you take the food that was inadvertently delivered to your house?
Oh, like they delivered to the wrong house altogether.
Where you live in a
that's
neighborhood.
on them.
You and I both live in a neighborhood. So if your neighbor ordered DoorDash and, they misread it as, 48 instead of 84 and they put it on your porch, do you get to keep it?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's like a finders keepers in that situation. I mean, if the other person was like anxiously awaiting the food and they live close enough to you that they see that the driver is like there, then they may like open the door and realize. But I feel like if it sits there for like, not even for very long and no one else claims it, like, yeah, because the person who never got it they're just going to be able to complain the food never got delivered. They'll show them the photo they took. They'll say that's not my house. And then it'll have to get made over again. But we'll have to, I don't know if today's guest, I don't know if they're on the apps or not, but if they are, we'll have to ask them because I do know I've had times with the delivery where they've like messed something up. And so then when you complain through the DoorDash app, they just like make it right or give you some money back or something. I don't think that they bother the restaurant with it. But I don't know how it works.
So, I'm older and I was in bed the other evening and about 10:45, my Ring doorbell notification went off, which woke me up. So I look and I see there it's a food delivery. They left something on my porch, which got me like alarmed. And then my younger daughter, who was awake, said, Dad, so she said, yeah, it was food that, all this other stuff. And she said, can I take it? And I said, well, you better wait a minute or two. And then about 2 or 3 minutes later, the Ring notification went off again to a young man wearing just boxers walking onto my front porch and getting said DoorDash or Uber Eats, whichever one it was, and then walking back to his house.
I wish you were down there to be like, excuse me, son, what are you doing? Why is there a kid in boxers at the house when I have a daughter in here?
Yeah, and he did give the wave like to the camera, so he knew the camera was on, like sorry. So that spurred our conversation of can you eat the food? And then if the answer is yes, how long do you have to wait until you collect the food?
Yeah, I feel like just if you give it like you did, I think a few fair minutes because you get texted like every step of the way. So if someone's gotten a text that says the food's been delivered and it's still not there and they haven't come to look for it within 5 minutes, it feels like fair game.
Well, it's good to know.
All right, let's see what Ted thinks. We've got Ted Tomlinson, who is the owner of the Spanked Puppy, going on, I think he said it was 7 years as the owner. He did work there for a few years before that. Ted, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What is your take on the food delivery situation? If it gets delivered to the wrong house, can you eat it?
Well, I mean, the first thing is, you just said you were from Joe, you're Gen X. Could you imagine being a kid when we were both kids and being able to order food from wherever you want and having it show up on your doorstep. I mean, McDonald's, when I was playing sports, that was sometimes the best part of an away game was you get to go to McDonald's. It was a treat. My head would have exploded if we could have had McDonald's delivered to my house.
So
on your parents' credit card, no less.
So this is the God's honest truth, and this isn't a bullshit because of our guests. But I asked a coworker this sort of, you get the food delivered, blah blah blah. So this coworker, God's honest truth, said, "Oh, absolutely, you can eat the food." He goes, "Last week I was at the Puppy, and the people behind me ordered nachos, and they didn't finish it. I turned around, took the plate, and ate them."
I love it. No
That's
food
the God
waste.
honest truth.
Keep it out of the landfill.
That's the God honest truth.
Well, now, I got it. The worst feeling in the world. This one gets me we dealt with it through the pandemic, but isn't that the worst feeling in the world when you're hungry and you order food to go and you wait and you pay for it and it shows up and the order's wrong? There's no fixing it because it's going to be an hour. Everybody else is eating it. That's the worst feeling in the world. We got that down to a science during the pandemic. Double, triple, quadruple check it. We don't partner with DoorDash. That is a big reason that we didn't partner with delivery services, Uber Eats or DoorDash, because the quality control, there's too many variables outside of our control. However, if somebody brings food to your house that you didn't order and it's there, they're not going to resell it. You might as well eat it. You just got a free meal. It kind of sucks for the guy that didn't get his food, but eat it, of course. Well, you can't send it back.
I love it. It's so true. You can send it back. I guess if you look at it and you it's your neighbor and you know the guy, maybe I'd send him a text and be like, "Thanks for dinner tonight," and just mess with him.
Yes. Okay. So if you know that it's for your neighbor, if you see the name on it, and that's one thing. But if somebody mistook Fairfax for Virgins, that's on you.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm gonna start randomly sending food to Joe's house.
I appreciate that.
Ted, tell us what's going on at the Spanked Puppy these days as we approach the fall. I know there's a lot of football fans, and every time I've been in there, it's a nice little crowd.
Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. We just wrapped up our cornhole season, so we have a summer cornhole league that just wrapped up, and we're going to get 3 days of breathing space, and football season starts. So we have a pick 'em pool. So 33 years ago, when this was started, the original owner, Ron Barkham, was a big gambler. And so he started this football pool. It's a weekly pick'em, and it pays out huge. You get a weekly payout. So basically, if you get the most right, it's $400 you get every week. So whoever gets the most teams, no spreads, no nothing, you just pick the team to win. Whoever gets that, and then it adds up cumulatively. So halfway through the season, the top 5 points pay out. I mean, pay out big, like $1,300, $800. It's tiered, and so that is what led to him starting brunch, and that's one of the biggest things that we were known for. We still are known for is the brunch. He realized, well, we got all these guys here filling out their football books on a Sunday morning at 9 drinking. We might as well feed them something, and that's how brunch started. So for us, that's what we're focused on is it doesn't slow down. We head right into football season. My favorite. I love football season, and I love it here. We have the package. We have my wife actually approved this year. We can get a video wall, which I've always wanted. So we're actually getting a big Buffalo Wild Wings style multiplex video wall. I can't. That's what's going on. Football. I'm a little excited.
When is that getting installed? That's super exciting. I feel like we're in the know.
Well, as soon as I put it, she authorized the funds. Now I got to do it. So now it's supposed to be for next week, but my guess is going to be the week before Super Bowl.
I feel like I've been in there and seen the regulars that you have, and you probably could recruit a couple of them to go ahead and do it for you.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Absolutely. We'll a free beer and a free brunch. It'll be done tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Ted, we recently at Myers, you and I, our companies have been working together on kind of the food scraps. And, unfortunately, sometimes I eat at your facility often. You have nice big portions, so sometimes there's food left over. And I know you've had some interactions recently learning more about food scraps and sort of that process. So maybe talk to us a little bit about how that process has been going and what you're learning. Because, of course, I live it every day, so it's easy for me. But for somebody like you, a restaurant owner, I know it was a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, it was quite a learning curve for me. Vermont enacted a bunch of laws. From my understanding, it was to keep. So Vermont has one landfill, just one. It's up in Coventry, I think. It's privately owned by Casella, I seem to think, and that's it. So once it's full, and we don't have a plan B. And from my understanding, just from the crash course that I took over the past couple of weeks from the process with CSWD, is that it this project kind of started in the 90s and snowballed to where we are now, that as to keep upstream, to keep as much product out of the landfill system that can be reused and repurposed. When CSWD initially reached out, I told him this. I didn't pay any attention to them. I thought they were corporate sales guys from Casella. In my mind, I didn't realize that they were a government department. So I blew them off literally for a year, which did not make them happy at all. And then I realized, oh no, this is a legal, regulatory, legitimate, just like, the Department of Liquor Control or the town. You don't mess around with them. Now, I got to say, they were fantastic. They just want education and compliance. They're not out to beat anybody up. They really worked with us. And there's an aspect for you joke about big portions, but that's an art that I really want to dial in, is to nail the portion size. I would like to see every plate that we serve out, there's just a little bit of leftover left. If you're throwing out half of a portion, there's a few problems there. And all that food waste can be repurposed. And I'm a big fan of efficiency. Why throw something out and waste it if you can repurpose it? So my education, as much as I like to rail on government overreach and be a libertarian or anything, I came away from this experience like they're trying to do some good. I think Vermont we're going to be in trouble if we don't address this landfill issue. From what they told me, CSWD, we got 20 years and then we don't have a plan B. And you know how things move quickly in Vermont. It'll take 20 years to get plan B moved through the bureaucratic system. So the food scrap, with Myers, we've been with Myers forever. I know Ryan and Kenny. Ryan's my age. Gosh, yeah, I've known him forever. Fantastic. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. I can't do that with Casella and call up the owner on my cell phone and be like, hey, yeah, we missed a pickup. I can't tell you how many times somebody has parked in front of the dumpster and we can't get a pickup. And I know it's super frustrating for Myers, just as it is for us that nothing gets picked up, but I can text the owner and have it fixed, in 15 minutes. It's been Ted, a great partnership.
Ted, I gotta interrupt you a little bit here because
you
open with that you and I are Gen Xers, which okay. Then you just said you and Ryan are the same age. And I know you have a child. You and Erin, I think, have children roughly the same age. So, Ted, in the last 5 minutes, you claim to be late 40s, early 50s, and early 30s. So Ted, you
How
went
old
to the
are you,
lane.
Ted? How old are you?
I'm 40. I don't know what the generations are. I thought that's Gen X. Maybe I'm a millennial. I'm not
We
I'm not
are.
sure. My
We're
son
on
is
the cusp.
4.
We're like on the cusp. We kind of claim both. Joe's older than us. He's in the like, oh, my kids graduated high school, like I can drink with them now age. Whereas you and I are like dealing with the kids who don't listen. My son recently started just saying never instead of no. Could you share with your sister? Never. That's why we drink. That's the phase that we're in.
Yes.
And I also have to correct you. Your food portions. I've been there often. Your food portions are enormous. Your alcohol portions aren't. It seems like I take home part of my club sandwich, but I never have leftover beer. So maybe the portions need to be similar.
That's funny. Yeah, there's not a beer waste law
Yeah,
in place. I wonder why that is. I wonder
yeah.
why that is.
I
The
love though.
Champlain
I do
Water
love your.
District hasn't.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I do love your allegiance to Myers, though, right? These guys came in and you thought they were sales guys for another company, and you just said, no. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Blew them
I
off.
got fined. I got fined literally because I thought CSWD was Casella, and I blew them off for a year. So that was about $200 right there.
Well, that's
Myers
all
all the way.
I love it. But I
We
do love, and for commercial clients out there, I do love that you experienced this issue. You were able to work with them, but also call Myers and say, hey, what is going on? And kind of they talked you through it. So you weren't just, another restaurant on the route. You, when you're a client of Myers, they, want to make sure that everything's being taken care of and help you as needed. And it probably helps that
Yeah,
you're just around the
I want
corner.
to be specific on what Ryan did, because he thought outside of the box. So here was our issue. Because we're seasonal, obviously, when we open our outdoor space, we triple in volume. Our indoor space, we get 60, somewhere in there. We get 200 when our outdoor space is open. So the volume, obviously, in the summer is much bigger. And we got to pay per container. So, obviously we have to deal with the food scraps. All of a sudden now I'm looking at an extra $300 a week. I mean, it could be. That's a real number. So Ryan said, hey, let's do this. We're going to bring 6 containers over. And when the driver comes to pick it up, we're going to see how many are full. And that's what we charge you for. It's not going to be that right there. That's an ingenious, out of the box way to handle that problem according to what our business does. So if we have if we implement everything correctly, and maybe we have a slower week, we're only going to get hit for 2. If it's a busy week, we can get hit for 6. Does that make sense? It was an ingenious situation that really eased the pain of having to deal with this situation in the first place. So all good things.
So Ted, I know you do a lot of other stuff for the community, and you do a lot of different Calcuttas and stuff like that at the restaurant. Maybe talk a little bit about, the podcast. A lot of the theme is giving back, and a lot of so much of what Vermont makes Vermont special is, neighbors helping neighbors, restaurants helping restaurants. So maybe talk about some of the charities that you're working with and some of the stuff you're doing.
We have 2 charities. Our main charity that we deal with is First Step Recovery, which is a huge, huge message that I think is not addressed in Vermont. First Step Recovery, they're based here in Colchester. They just opened up a facility, and they are basically, I don't want to say a halfway house, but when you have somebody that is kind of taking the sobriety walk and they're out of the immediate fire, there could be jail time, there could be, how it goes when somebody kind of deals with a life addiction, and you kind of get through that rehab experience, and then what? Everybody gets really focused on getting you out of the ditch, and then you're kind of forgotten about until you can get your life together. But there's that big intermediate step of, the realistic thing is a lot of these people may not have a credit score or have been homeless, through various, it's really hard to prove residential history if you don't have credit or anything like that. So First Step comes in and they offer beds, and it's a zero tolerance, and they have very effective in-house treatment programs, but it is regulated. I mean, it's a zero tolerance. I mean, your room goes through, and basically, one of the things that Vermont, I mean, I've struggled with certainly addictions in my past, and I have to say that Vermont takes a very charitable way of, with a kind of warm heart and a little bit of understanding to get people on their feet, and not be so harsh about it. That's what First Step does, is they get you jobs. They charge you for rent. I mean, this isn't free. You got to work for it. It is a business. They look to make money. And this is a place for somebody that you have to sign a commitment. You're there for 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And that gives you enough time to get your life on track and to enter into society. First Step boasts a 90% success rate. That's massive. And there's no beds in Vermont. Again, a lot of the political energy and money goes towards the initial treatment, Suboxone and stuff like that. And then you're kind of left to drift. There's nothing in that in-between space to help you get on your feet. And the way First Step goes at it is they're looking for people that want to turn their life around. They're not looking to rehab people that don't want to. These are people that have made the choice. We're going to turn my life around. What are my options? And it's such a great charity. That's our main charity. And I know it's odd that, we have a bar. Obviously, a bunch of our revenue is from alcohol. But it's a big need in the state. These are kind, good people. They give jobs, they give housing, they give treatment, they give love and support and activities. So that's our main charity. Our second charity, which is from Denise Myers. She's with KidSafe. We're doing a Calcutta in a couple weeks for KidSafe. It's the BFCE. This was Ron Barkham, the owner. This was the biggest effing Calcutta ever. We're doing that for KidSafe, and that's Denise Myers. That's her charity. So those are our two charities. Both of them are. I wish we could do 10 times more. KidSafe is a fantastic charity. I'm less up on them. I do know that they are 100%. They're out for saving kids, keeping them out of abusive environments, and helping families that have been broken through addiction, abuse.
We've actually had them on the podcast before. So people who would like to hear and learn more about KidSafe or get a little refresher can go back into the history of the podcast and look for the KidSafe podcast and learn more about that charity. But also the First Step, one, and like you'd said, it is a little ironic, like you're a bar but you know what? People are able to drink responsibly, and sometimes things happen. And what I love about First Step Recovery is it's helping the people who want to help themselves, but just need a little added support to get there. Right. And that's hard, because it's, how can you expect them to, right? It's hard to get a job if you don't have an address. It's hard to make more money if you don't, right? And so sometimes they need, someone to kind of help push them and help them navigate and figure it out rather than getting discouraged. And so I think there being a charity that really helps with that is awesome.
They just opened up their new facility, which is right off Jasper Mine Road. That has, they have meetings there, all the support meetings. They have beds. It's a full facility. It's a one-stop shop. We were able to support the opening there, and the next project that they're working on is they're buying another house. They need beds. And anybody that wants to jump in, First Step Recovery, it's a good cause. 90% success rate. That's what got me.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up with you. I'm excited to come brunch there. I'm excited to check out the new video board when it is ready for football season.
We have Sunday tickets. We got it. Any game you can watch it here.
I like it. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, Ted. We really appreciate it and hope to see you soon up there at the puppy. Yeah,
thank you guys so much. We love Myers. I can't say enough good stuff about Myers. They've been a great partner. And and real quick, this whole food scrap issue, it's no picnic for Myers either. No. I found out that there's a lot of logistics that Myers has to deal with. So it's not like this is a money grift. This is legitimately a need that everybody's having to chip in on. And Myers has just been a great partner, great partner with us.
Well, thank you, Ted.
Perfect. Thanks, Ted.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's a walking, talking commercial for you guys.
I just wish his energy would be a little higher.
He was great. He was great. All right, what do you have for Trashy or Not this week?
Yeah, so Trashy or Not, and you probably have more experience than I do on this, so I'm curious your opinion. Trashy or Not, you go to an event that has a souvenir cup, be it the Brewers Fest or a concert or whatever it is. Not your cup, but you want to bring a cup home for a friend or a spouse or whomever it is, so you Trashy or Not picking up a used souvenir cup to bring home.
Oh, like you already got your given one.
You already got your given one.
Hey, these people ditched theirs right here because they don't want to take them home.
Correct. So it's used.
I think it is not trashy if it's clear that someone left it like by the exit with the intention of thinking someone will pick it up. It is trashy if you're just like, someone may have put theirs down for a minute and they're talking and then you're like, oh, let me snake that. That is trashy. But if it's clear that like the person who it was given to doesn't want to take it with them and they've left it in a place that it seems like you can take it, then it's not trashy. But I'm also the daughter of the queen of like free swag, just like handfuls. Like if my mother walked into Myers and saw the box of like lip balm you guys had recently, she would have been like, oh, I need one for my daughter and one for my granddaughter and one for my non-existent grandson and one for my she would have just like, oh my God, they're free and they're here, so I need them all. But
if the cup is used, all right, so you drank out of the beer stein or whatever it is, and you take it home, and it, because and you clean it, it's still not okay.
I mean, you go to a restaurant and you're drinking out of a cup that someone else had drank out of and it got washed.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. This was just a big debate in my household recently over a used commemorative souvenir cup. How gross it is because you're going to reuse it. And I said, well, we'll wash it. We'll run through a dishwasher and everything like that. It's not that, I'm not.
Yeah, why? That's less gross than going to, and then not the Spanked Puppy. Everything is super duper clean.
Right.
But your response back to this person needs to be, well, hold on a second. When you go to a restaurant, you're drinking your beer from a cup that's been washed, and many people have drank out of it, not just one person.
Right. Well, I agree with you. I'm on your side that I don't think it's trashy, but it is an interesting one where like you often see at the Brewers Fest, which I like to go to, people don't want to take their commemorative glass stein home, so they leave it and they're going to be disposed of. So, you take an extra one to bring home to somebody.
Yeah, well, because otherwise, I wonder what the event does with them all at the end. Like, it would be painful to throw out a whole bunch of these mugs that they just got for that year.
That's what I say.
I did used to, when I lived in Louisiana, there was this bar that had pint night on Wednesday nights, and it was every beer you get to take the glass home. And it was all branded with the bar name, but then different beer brands or sayings. But it would get ridiculous. People would be walking out of that bar with 10 glasses, or people would ditch theirs. And so then it was I think even when I moved to Vermont initially, I had a ton of them. I think I still have some in our closet of the pint glasses that at some point we had to pare it down. But not it's not trashy in the least is my response.
Good. I like it.
All right. Well, thank everyone for joining us this week for another episode of the Trash Talking and Giving Back podcast. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.